Hello, 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 my loves. This is Miss A. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Allison, by the way, but you can call me Miss A. Now, someone earlier had requested if I could do a channeling on Cameron Boyce, right? So I was able to do this channeling, I was able to do this reading, and I really wanted to share with you guys a couple of the things that I saw, a couple of the things that I found, when doing this channeling, a couple of messages that came through. So, do bear with me. I am new to recording, I'm new to YouTube, I'm new to editing. So, I honestly don't know the best way. Like I tried with the tripod earlier on my phone, it didn't really work with the angle. I'm trying, guys. I have a lot to learn with this whole YouTube thing, so do bear with me. I pulled from 6 different decks, so holding my phone in my hand this time around for this reading just would not have cut it. It would have been way too messy. I tried doing it before, it wasn't working. I was like out of breath after holding it and moving it around so much. So, anyway, let's just get started. I want to tell you guys a couple of the messages that I found, okay? So, first, I'm going to start off with the tarot, okay? The Rider-Waite tarot messages that I got. I pulled Strength, the Fool, upright, Six of Wands in reversed, the Page of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, what I get from these cards, honestly, I feel like, this Strength card is really speaking to me about, Cameron and his, and his whole ability to be able to kind of like cope with what was going on with his health, what was going on with, his anxieties about being in the limelight. Honestly, with this whole Six of Wands in reverse, I feel like he was kind of getting tired of being famous. I felt like he was getting tired of fame. I think the limelight was starting to kind of become very overwhelming for him, And with this Fool card, I think that the Fool symbolizes new beginnings. So I feel like this is definitely him wanting a new beginning, him wanting to start over, him wanting to kind of distance himself from Hollywood. Okay. In the upright position, the Six of Wands, deals with being revered, being popular, being loved, being adored. And I feel like he kind of like, he's been acting for quite some time. So I think that he just wanted to steer away from, what he was used to and what he felt expected to do. And I think there was a lot of anxiety and discomfort around that, of what people would think and what they would feel about him doing that. Then we have this Page of Cups in reverse with the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune was really talking about, kind of like a cycle of completion. Like I feel like, he was kind of feeling like, not so much that he wanted to walk away from his career completely, but I think he just wanted something that was a little bit different. I feel like he wanted a change of pace, something that was going to be a little bit more fulfilling to him. Honestly, I pick up on the fact that he wanted to do something a little bit more spiritual. He wanted to connect more with nature. He wanted to kind of just like be away from the public eye. And then this whole Page of Cups in reverse, I feel like this is just like a lot of repressed emotions. Repressed emotions about his success, him wanting to distance himself from, the public eye. And also, I feel like, guys, this had a lot to do with something that was going on with someone that he was involved with. Okay. And it's going to come up a little bit in, these other cards, so do bear with me, because I'm going through all of the decks. So all the messages are going to come through and make sense in the end, So I'm going to move on to doing the Love Oracle, okay? So with the Love Oracle, we have past life. So Cameron's success in this life was not by accident, okay? A lot of his success has to do with his past life karma, okay? So he was someone who was very influential in his past life. He was very successful. He was someone that a lot of people went to. They saw him as a leader. They felt inspired by him. This is the reason why he was able to get to where he reached, in this life. A lot of it had to do with his past life karma. I also do feel like this has to do with his soulmate. There was someone that he was definitely involved with towards the end of his life, guys. And I say that because I got the energy of blonde female, true love, and fun times. So this is somebody who definitely he was involved with. Now, the blonde female does not necessarily have to be blonde. She could wear a wig. She could dye her hair. I don't know, guys. Like, I really don't know much about him. But, definitely this is somebody who he was involved with, who he had some sort of deep connection with, and it was definitely something that was a past life connection. This was a soulmate, okay? And this card's of travel, travel and obstacles. He wanted to get away, like I said, from Hollywood. He wanted to distance himself. This is not something that was really resonating with him anymore. I feel like he just wanted to just, maybe travel somewhere new, travel somewhere a little bit more peaceful, more quiet, somewhere where people really could not recognize him, you know? And then this whole thing of obstacles, like, his his desire to switch career paths and to kind of change the direction in which his life was going was an obstacle for him. His health issues were obstacles for him. You know, also this kind of what was going on with this girl as well was also an obstacle for him. He had a lot of different things going on. And then this part of family popped out. And this is just the energy of his loved ones. They're devastated by this. They were not expecting this to happen. They were not expecting this, guys. They are heartbroken right now. Okay? So, with the Psychic Tarot now, I pulled Heart Chakra. Okay? So, even though, he had issues with epilepsy and with the seizure, I also feel like there were issues with the heart as well. I feel like he had definitely some issues with his heart, and I feel like this heart chakra card is also talking about the situation that he had with that girl, or with the person that he was into or interested in. I feel like that definitely is what this card is alluding to. Then we have Trapped in Fear. Okay, so Trapped in Fear definitely just kind of goes back to this whole idea of him kind of wanting to distance himself from Hollywood, him feeling the pressure of staying in the public eye and staying in the role of, or in the job really, of being an actor, being involved in Hollywood. I feel like he just felt like very it goes back to like that energy of the Page of Cups. Him feeling like his emotions are a little bit repressed, him feeling like like he just wants to kind of distance himself and get away, but not really knowing how to go about doing that. And then we have this material and spiritual prosperity, and then the universe. Okay, so I do believe, honestly, from this reading, one message that came through heavy is that he was an earth angel, guys. Okay, so he had a lot of gifts. He had and you guys are going to see that too coming up in the upcoming cards, but he had a lot of sensitivity. He had like psychic, like, I don't really want to say psychic ability, because there's different levels of psychic ability, whether it be being an empath, being a clairvoyant, being clairaudient, being more in tune with energy, with seeing energy, with feeling energy. That's what I'm picking up from with him. And this whole this card of like the universe, I feel like this was just him being very connected spiritually, getting a lot of spiritual downloads, being able to kind of feel people's energy, their auras. And I think that this sensitivity is what made being famous, very hard for him. I think that this became very challenging for him because of the fact that he was kind of coming to coming on to like the opening up of his gifts. That's what I think. I think that he definitely was an earth angel. I think he had a lot of divine gifts from God, and I feel like he didn't necessarily understand that completely, but that's the reason why he wanted to get away from Hollywood. And then this whole idea of material and spiritual prosperity. So this kind of goes back to what I was talking about, with past life karma. Okay, so a lot of the things that he was able to achieve in this life have to do with his past life karma. You know, that's the reason why he was so successful. You know, and then the spiritual prosperity, like I said, I believe that he was an earth angel. So I feel like a lot of the things that he was able to experience and feel had a lot to do with like his life path, you know, like had a lot to do with who he was spiritually. Okay. Then we have again, like, you know, spiritual strength. So this just goes back to like what I was saying, you know, I believe that he had a lot of divine gifts that he was coming on to. Okay. And then choose wisely, you know, deception and envy, partnerships and alliances. Okay. So, you know, I feel like this was him just kind of wanting to, this goes back to that card again in the Love Oracle about traveling, you know, him wanting to kind of get away, him wanting to distance himself, you know, from Hollywood, him wanting to just kind of, you know, venture off and do something a little bit different. I feel like he had a lot of options being presented to him, you know, and just a lot of different avenues he wanted to explore. Maybe he didn't always feel comfortable with with feeling this way, but this is what he wanted, you know. And then, you know, this partnerships and alliances kind of goes back to what I saw earlier with that woman. Like, I think that there were, and also with like the offers, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like he definitely, you know, had a lot of people kind of coming to him with a lot of endorsements, a lot of partnerships, you know, and also just him wanting to kind of align himself with someone, you know, in a romantic sense. You know, I think that that was something that definitely was coming up for him, you know. In this deception and envy card now, interestingly enough, he had a lot of people in his corner who were kind of wearing masks, you know, like they weren't being their real selves. They were very envious of him, they were very jealous of him. And the thing about an earth angel, and the reason why also I feel like he was an earth angel, guys, is because he died so young, you know. Maybe I'll have to make a video about that, but I definitely do believe that he was an earth angel. And the thing about it is that earth angels are sometimes, like, you know, from the outside looking in, you know, we can see people and their energy, you know, like maybe we don't be able to, maybe we can't actually physically see it, but we feel something about them, you know, we feel like drawn to them in some way. He had that type of energy, that like magnetic energy where people just wanted to be near him and people wanted to listen to him, you know, people wanted to be in his company. And it's like, there were some people around him that were jealous of that. You know, they didn't like that. They envied that. They envied his success. They envied his energy. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to move on to the next set of cards. You know, and I'm going to go into the romance, the love oracle, you know. So this kind of goes back to what I was saying about the energy, you know, of the blonde female, you know. So I pulled from the, because honestly, I really didn't know what to think about this. You know, I don't know who this is. I'm not sure, you know, but the romance oracle deck was saying, you know, calling in your soulmate. Okay, your prayers and affirmations and visualizations help bring you together. You know, so this person definitely had soulmate energy. You know, this is someone who he really connected with. He had a divine connection with this individual. And then it said, very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So I think there was a lot of indecision also around this partnership, you know, for whatever reason. I think he also had a lot of doubts, you know, about this person. I think sometimes maybe it, you know, it could have stemmed from maybe still wanting to kind of feel them out or just being a little bit insecure, you know. But it says stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay. So he had issues as well, you know, with staying optimistic about this person. And then it says reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So this is somebody who he definitely had some type of romantic connection with in the past. I'm not sure who it was, but he definitely has history with them. Okay. Now, let's get into the Archangel messages, because this is also going to explain to you guys why I believe he was an Earth Angel. So we have this card of sensitivity. It says you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. So again, guys, I feel like he definitely was experiencing a lot of hypersensitivity right now. And I mean, sorry, not right now, but like, he was experiencing a lot of hypersensitivity, and really it was why he started to feel like he wanted to distance himself from Hollywood. It's why he started to feel like he needed to kind of pull back, and not be in the public eye so much. It was becoming really overwhelming for him and exhausting. Okay. Now, Archangel Raphael was around him as well and was saying, breathe, take several deep breaths, and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. So, yeah, he wanted to get away, guys. He was feeling very, very overwhelmed, with being famous, and it happens sometimes with celebrities. They say it a lot. They'll say, like, sometimes they wish they could kind of shut it off for a little bit, just be a normal person and just kind of get themselves away from it. It says, gifts from God. We angels bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. So yeah, guys, he had a lot of divine gifts, and you guys can take that how you want. It could also be referring to abundance, but honestly, I feel like it really had a lot to do with his psychic abilities, you know, being an empath, being able to kind of just like feel people's energy, being very hypersensitive and very aware of people's energy, possibly their intentions. Okay. And it says passion, trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. So this just ties back to him again, just wanting to get out of Hollywood, wanting to be away from the public eye. Okay. And this also talks about his love life as well. So this person, I mean, you guys got to tell me in the comments, because now I'm curious. I mean, I don't know who this individual was, but this is someone who definitely was someone who was supporting this endeavor. Like I feel like they are someone who also knew that he wanted to get out of like the public eye for a little bit, and distance himself from being famous. And it says, outdoors, go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. So yeah, guys, this just goes back to those messages about traveling, wanting to get away, having a lot of options, choosing wisely. Okay, like he just wanted to kind of get out. He wanted to get out, be more in nature, do things that made him feel a little bit more free, experiencing freedom. Okay. Now, final messages are going to be coming from the Angel Answers deck. This is a deck that you guys are mostly familiar with too, that I've used in the past. And it says, get more information. So this card really is referring to him getting more information about some of the things that he was experiencing. I don't think that this is necessarily involving health, but I feel like this kind of has a lot to do with spirituality, especially because of the imagery of like the Metatron's cube. I feel like this has a lot to do with spirituality. I feel like they were kind of saying like, they wanted him to get more information in regards to just, being a little bit more connected spiritually, finding ways to decompress and de-stress, being a little bit more, being able to kind of navigate the world a little bit easier than how he was able to, while he was here. Okay. Then the card of improving health came out. So again, this goes back to his whole issues with health. All right. And people around him definitely knew about his health issues. People close to him definitely knew, but nobody was expecting this, guys. Okay. Now, this card of, it's up to you, let go. All right. So I feel like this is the angel just kind of letting him know, like, it's okay to want to release, these tangible things, being in the limelight, the expectations that people may have of you. I feel like they were just telling him to just kind of like let go and not really stress about it too much, and not like, have himself feeling so down and feeling so isolated, because they would have handled it, like he would have been okay, And then it says it's up to you. So really he had he had the power to really, just I don't want to say like stop acting, because I really don't think that that's what he wanted, like to stop doing completely. But I feel like he just wanted a break, and he felt kind of powerless in the situation, like almost like, I don't know if this is the right move for me. I don't know if I should really go about doing this, like. And I felt like they were just kind of supporting him and saying like, hey, listen, if this is what you want to do, it's up to you. The angels were with him. Okay, so and the last card I got was peaceful resolution. Okay, guys, so like I said, I believe he was an earth angel, and I do believe that he is now at peace. He is definitely at peace. And even though the people around him are sad, and even though they may not be able to